I'm Layla. Welcome to Raidlore Stories. So today's lore story is going to be for Gala Longbraids. Now, she did have a lore story originally, like way back when she was introduced into the game, and I did share it. But since then, it looks like she has a newer lore story. So she's been one that has been requested quite a bit, right? So now that she has a new one, let's check it out and read it together. In the years before the Sky Iron Dominion's commitment to the liberation of Yokai from the Makajitocracy, Gala Longbraids was a notorious gang leader, brawler, and drunkard. With flaming red hair and two braids of which were iron-tipped, marking her as a particularly delinquent student, she was highly recognizable. The fact is she was never without a crew of foul-mouthed and belligerent followers did her reputation little good. Together, Gala and her gang never passed up a good fight or post-punch-up drink with their fellow combatants to celebrate the new bonds forged in the timeless crucible of street fighting. It was during one of these mammoth drinking sessions that Gala overheard a pair of off-duty soldiers talking about something she had never known to happen before: war. Dominion armies marching abroad in strength for the first time in centuries. Their destination was Yokai, their enemy, the Makajitocracy. Not one for subtlety, Gala rushed to the soldiers, grabbed them both, and demanded they tell her everything. The two dwarves stammered and slurred that they had no idea. It was a rumor that senior officers refused to deny. Sky Iron had long played host to refugees for Yokai. Its alliance with the Shadowkin rebels and the Sylvans of the Mistwatch had been cemented earlier that same year in the formation of the Narisan Union. Gala ordered fresh ales for the soldiers and returned to her gang. She told them to drink up. They had a war to fight. For once, Gala's companions were silent. For all their brawling, they had never known a true war before. They downed their flagons. One belched. Then they burst into uproarious laughter, clap each other on the back. This was it. They followed Gala into their stopping grounds, all banging the doors of taverns and inns and houses, calling out the names of other gangs, just as their leader did. Within an hour, Gala had hundreds of dwarves, as well as a dozen of Shadowkin rebels, and even the odd Sylvan elf looking to her, wondering what in the name of all Sky Iron they were doing there. Standing on an upturned bucket on an abandoned wheelless cart, Gala addressed the rabble. Sky Iron was marching to save Yokai. They were all going with them. Though there were a few grumbles about the good old days of dwarven isolation, the response was almost entirely jubilant. Dolllanders cried and danced, fresh barrels of ale were cracked open, and smiths were mobbed as all around demanded weapons and iron. There was going to be a lot of good fighting and a lot of good treasure. War promised opportunity for all. United for the first time by common purpose, Gala and her host did not even wait for the armies to depart before marching for the Dawnlands. Clad in mismatched armor, wielding an assortment of patchwork weapons, and fueled by as much ale as any common sense, Gala's unruly battalion paraded out for the Sky Iron Dominion, singing proud songs of the glorious victory that was surely to come. This was to be the greatest fight of Gala's life, and she would make sure it was one to remember. Little did she know just how many of her comrades she would have to remember burying. Okay, guys, I thought that was a pretty good story for her. That fits really, really well. This is basically, she's a gang leader, right? Very, very different from like her original story. And I thought this one was a lot of fun. I do also like how it kind of like ties in the Narisan Union. So it mentions about the Shadowkin, also mentions about the Sylvans as well too. So I thought that was interesting, guys. Drop me a comment down below what you think for the lore story of Gala. And thanks so much for watching.